This is the CI/CD UX meeting for April 7th. Wow, April. And I see a couple of FYI items. So, Vitika, why don't you get started?
Sure. So this is just to notify that there's a merge request up for the CI/CD variables blog. So if anyone wants to go and give their feedback and review the content, please feel free to do so. And the next thing is I started off on a very elaborate exercise, which is visualizing the merge train index page. So it is an ongoing work, and I think this will continue for at least one more milestone, including this one. So it's still in the process of being shaped up, but if you feel that there's something that you would like to um, make me aware of, or just like review the designs again, which are posted on the issue, I'll be really happy to get your feedback. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
all.
I think you're up next.
Yes. So I wanted to have a conversation with everyone about how you all are working with engineers and testing, or with the quality team in general. The package stage is doing a lot of work to bring quality up to the quad planning level. So product management, product design, engineering manager, and engineers and test, all operating in strategy. And we haven't been doing a good job of that. So I was just wondering how everyone else has that relationship with that team member, and how you all work together to make the quality aspect kind of the first priority.
Mm, One thing that I'm aware of that happens in CI is like Tiffany, who's from testing. She is a part of almost all those strategic meetings or quad planning, and she's kept aware. And she's especially like she really helps with the team with setting up the environments and all of that during the research. That might not be the area that we want to look at, but I'm just putting that across that she helps us with that as well. So she's pretty much looped in many things that happen in the stage group. Ian, could you kind of elaborate on what exactly, like what kind of participation or partnership you are looking to hear about?
Right. So what we've been doing on package, and we've had the engineer related to quality kind of move around a little bit. And so their work tends to be in response to what everyone else is doing. And they're part of the meetings and they're aware of it, but how they structure tests, how they talk about risk, how we as the vision and strategy end and product design and product management aren't
Mm-hmm.
enabling that, so that quality is up and talking about as we're thinking through a design, like how are we going to test it. Those conversations are missing. And so I'm just trying to
Right.
help Sophie, who's our testing engineer, come up to that level of being with the rest of us in the strategic meeting instead of being reactive. Does that
Right.
qualify a little better?
It does. I was also curious about whether you're looking for a better partnership of us as designers with the quality engineers in some way, because as of today, what I'm absolutely sure about is that my interaction with the quality engineer is very limited. And in my process, they do not have much involvement at all.
That's the same that I've been experiencing, and I've been struggling to figure out a way to make a change in that. And so I started inviting that engineer directly for feedback and being more a part of those conversations, but how we enable each other is still not the conversation that is happening. And I'm used to being the designer who's kind of left behind while PM and engineer just kind of runs with it. I've experienced that in past companies. And so seeing quality in that same almost left behind feeling, I want to enable that to change.
Mhm. Yeah, this is a good discussion to have. And at least it made me think about it.
Thanks.
I added here a link to the approval guidelines documentation page that talks that, yeah, if your art changes, it only talks about merge requests, of course. But if your change includes end-to-end, if your merge request includes end-to-end changes, it must be approved by a quality engineer. To me, that's very interesting because I have no idea who the quality engineer is for my teams. So it's really about being a maintainer for that specific role. And I see here that we only have 4 in terms of like globally speaking, in terms of GitLab. And I wonder if in your teams, do you have like, you know, it looks like you have someone that it's assigned to do QA, right? In package. But do you, Daniel or Vitika, know if there is one specific person in your stage group that does that? Because in my case, for example, I take into consideration that if it's a front end change, an update, and things relate to the user experience, I'm the QA. So that's implicit, but I'm just curious to hear how you handle it.
In CI, I know that Tiffany Ria is responsible for the tests.
But
That's
you mean tests in the sense of automated tests that run on the pipelines, or she does some kind of manual testing as well?
I think she does the manual testing as well, if required. So she kind of takes care of any kind of testing that's required for if you're pushing a new feature or if you're making some substantial change in the workflow. So she takes different things into account.
Right. Yeah, I think it might make sense to broaden this discussion maybe in the UX Slack channel, Ian, because at least for me, perhaps that's because I just got here, but I don't really see where QAs fit in our current development workflow, right? I knew we had some, but I don't, like, if you ask me, I don't know for sure what exactly they do in which step of the process.
I am in
Yeah.
the exact same boat, so I feel a little bit better. Thank you all.
Good, we are all lost. That's positive. Yeah. So Ian, do you want to bring that to the discussion in the UX channel?
Yeah,
In,
I can
in
do that.
defining tech? Awesome.
Thank you all. That was a wonderful chat. Vitika, I think you have the next thing.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to talk about a collaborative effort which is happening on the CI and code review side. And this is something that was long awaited for. So it's high time that we take care of it. And what we are going to do is we are going to condense all the complex merge strategies such as merge when pipeline succeeds, merge train, start merge train when pipeline succeeds, all into this one global kind of terminology, which is auto merge. And this is because it won't just improve the usability of the whole merge widget and pipelines. It's going to relieve CI of so many different problems because I can literally pull out a list of issues, a very long list of issues, which only revolve around how the terminologies in the different scenarios in the merge widget, they have this wrong messaging to the users and messages are ambiguous, messages are confusing. And just to fix those small problems, we have to like take very huge efforts from the backend side, from the front end side, from the UX side. So what we're going to do next, like with auto merge, we are going to like deal with that big umbrella of problems and try to have a very simple interface for users to deal with. So I wanted to know like if this touches upon your stage group in any way and there's something that I should be concerned about and having a meeting about with any of you or all of you, I would like to know about it.
I'm thinking
Diana?
about it. I'm thinking about it because first off,
Yeah.
do you have an issue for this so we can
Yes, I
leave
totally
comments later
forgot.
on?
Yeah.
I did work on, which one was it? I think it was Mergement Pipeline Succeeds when we were still progress delivery and release management.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how this would impact, for example, testing or runner, like directly. I don't think it would. Um, So maybe this is a good point to do. I think we have a Think Week next week, this week. No, we postponed to next week.
Okay.
Or just throw this in the ops channel to see what others have to say, so we can start discussion in the issue. I think it will concern a bunch of stage groups, especially related to CD. So Daniel, that's for you, since you inherited most of my work, but it's been so long that I don't feel confident saying exactly where it will impact, but I have a feeling that this would need some cross collaboration. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, this is something we can bring up in the Think Big. So I will kind of strengthen my case. Like I just said that I can pull out a list of issues. I will go, in fact, and do that so that everyone can see like how much of work we would actually be avoiding by taking this one big effort. All right, so we can move to the next topic. Daniel?
Yes, so I'm currently working on the issue for manual actions for deploy jobs. And one of the possibilities that was raised by Nadia is to have a UI for approving or rejecting the deployments in the merge request page itself, which from the UX perspective is something I'm trying to figure out still. But more on the collaboration and UI side, I didn't really find any written documentation for how to create a merge request widget or how to contribute to it. There are a couple of things on the pajamas UI kit, but yeah, it's just like general principles, nothing really specific.
So,
Oh, so funny enough that you bring up the MR widget. We are kicking off a really big effort that I'm just getting onboarded to around looking at the merge widgets, how they should be acting. That's some research that we're doing, what users are expecting from it to make improvements. And then from there, what we're hoping is to make some guidelines for this is how to make a widget, this is the action area, this is the content area, this is how you do a warning in a widget, kind of set some of those standards. And then there's talk, I believe, in Q2 of having the team work together on the broader scale of this widget is for secure and does all their security scanning. Okay,
Right.
here's the standards we came up with, here's the research data, go improve the design, and then we'll work it in maybe the quarter afterwards to actually update all those widgets. Yeah. So the lack of documentation is known, and there's a plan in action to help make it easier. So awesome.
That's right. Yeah, I'm still not sure if this feature should be there, and if so, how. Especially because the fact that it concerns deployments means that the merge request might already be merged, but then there's something pending, right? Because the deployment hasn't been approved. So that could be kind of weird. But I'll tell you what, next time we have a chat later today, I'll show you some of the stuff I'm working on, and then you can give me more specific feedback.
Sounds good.
Perfect timing. And I linked here another umbrella issue that Pedro created to store all this information related to the redesign of merge request widgets, just for future reference. Let's see. Team Retro, do you want to do this? We never do. This has been sitting here since Nadia's time. And I feel comfortable with removing it, but yeah, just let me know if you want to go over it, or if it's something that we can skip and go to the fun stuff.
I'm good to skip it.
Yeah.
me too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, but in any case, go ahead and check the retro for the previous milestone if you haven't. I think they opened a new one for the upcoming milestone. But okay, more fun stuff. First up is Vitika.
Yeah, so this year I'm participating in the 36 days of type, mostly because of peer pressure. I was also asked to participate in that Inktober, which I did not do, so I'm kind of just making things fine with my friends by doing this. But the theme that I'm choosing for this year is DevOps. So all the illustrations would have like, there would be letters, of course, but the word would be related to DevOps. So the first one is Agile. That's all.
So cool.
This
I'm
looks
really excited to see more of that.
Thanks.
Vitika, do you know the illustrations from Egghead? It's it's a online courses platform, and they have a lead illustrator. I think her name is Maggie Appleton, and she makes these amazing illustrations for very abstract concepts. Like there's a course for Redux, and then she makes this amazing illustration that perfectly communicates what Redux is. It's wild. I'll send you a link and add to the notes because I think it has a
Oh,
lot to do
yeah.
with you communicating also abstract concepts from DevOps.
Yeah. I just opened her portfolio when you mentioned the name, and this is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's awesome. It makes me want to do design when I see Vitika's illustrations on Twitter, and Nadia also. I'm not sure if you all follow Nadia, but I think she posted yesterday or maybe it was today a new
2 days
illustration.
back, yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That is nice.
Yeah, awesome. My point is well, it's a shout out. We have a couple of us are attending conferences this quarter. Daniel is attending the Web Directions conference, and Vitika and Nadia the PAT conference. Ian, you did already, right? The product leaders. Was it last week? Yeah. How was that? You want to tell us a
It was
little
last
bit?
week. It was really interesting. There was a lot of conversation around how to be a product leader in a time of chaos. And so a lot of the stories were when, the pandemic hit and a lot of people's lives suddenly like turned upside down. As product leaders, our job was to like help adjust to that so that everyone could help, and a lot of tools of how to think about opportunities in this space and understanding the like permanence of product design decisions versus temporary ones and how to adapt to that. It was a really interesting conversation.
That's awesome. Can you bring some of the insights to us? I'm sure. Well, if this is the outlet you want to use, but I would love to hear more about your learnings and share that with not just with us, but I think other designers would benefit from the learnings. What do you say?
Yes. There's a couple of us attending this conference, and I think we're working together on creating something. So I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder by accidentally giving away something cool too early.
No spoilers. Awesome.
So, Ian, I wanted to ask like this shows that it has multiple tracks. One is strategy, then product data design. So would it be like you'll be attending all of those in the future, scheduled in the future? Or was this a pass for this particular like strategy track?
This was for that particular strategy track, I think. I will admit I was a little confused
Okay.
because the time zones, and they would send the calendar invite about 20 minutes before it happened. And so I didn't always know when it was going to happen.
Ah,
They did a good job of creating the chaos of a real conference in virtual form. So that was a nice little addition.
that's great.
Awesome. Anything else? We're almost at time. No? If not, then have a nice rest or beginning of your day. See you later. Bye.